Future Earth is a new global platform for building knowledge that's useful in achieving sustainability. It brings together 4 existing global programs that have been looking at the science of global change over the last 20 or 30 years. And what we're really trying to do is 2 things. The first thing is to build a much more connected science, to look at the very complex and connected problems we have in relation to climate change, food security, water security, and so on. But also, secondly, crucially, we want to start doing science in a new way that is really working in a much tighter collaboration with our societal partners in government, in business, in civil society organizations. So these are the 2 main aims of Future Earth. 1, to do more integrated science, and 2, to do what we call the co-production of knowledge, trying to understand the challenges we face, but also to become much more solutions-oriented. One of the things about environmental science, sustainability science, is that we're often spending a lot of time describing problems. And people need to understand problems, of course, but people are also very interested in what the routes towards solutions might be. And so we're having much more of an emphasis on working with societal partners in framing and understanding, evaluating different options for achieving pathways towards sustainability. Now, Future Earth builds on international science communities, and the Earth System Governance Project is one of those very important communities that will be coming into Future Earth. Future Earth is seeking, as part of this integration of science, to work between the natural sciences and the social sciences. So each of these different fields needs to develop in their own way, of course, but we want to be able to develop many more connections between them. And the Earth System Governance Project is a very important part of the social science aspect of Future Earth. Now, this conference in Norwich is dealing with 2 key issues in the Earth System Governance agenda, to do with the access and allocation of environmental resources and services, and also this really interesting and crucial issue about how transformations in society, in technology, in economics, in behavior of people, how those transformations towards sustainability might be possible at different levels, at the global level, but also at the household level, at the national level. And these are really both very, very important issues that we're concerned with in Future Earth. We know that the distribution of environmental resources, whether it's fossil fuel reserves or much more intangible values that we have about environmental quality and the cultural value of certain places, those kinds of resources are distributed very unequally. And therefore there's a fundamental problem about the equality of access to those resources. We also understand that inequality itself is one of the causes and drivers of global change. We know that, for instance, people who are wealthy use far more material and other resources in being able to maintain those kinds of lifestyles and practices. Thirdly, we understand that global change deepens those inequalities. So inequalities in terms of health status and economic rights and so on. These are deepened by processes of global change. And finally, we understand that in order to develop governance approaches, which this conference is very much concerned with, how we develop institutional rules, ways of valuing things, developing systems of governance that will allow us to get onto pathways towards sustainability, these pathways need to be just. So at the center of achieving sustainable development must be a commitment to greater justice, not just environmental justice, but social justice and cultural justice as well. And so I think some of the questions that are being dealt with in this conference are absolutely fundamental to some of the big problems that we are trying to deal with, understand, but also provide solutions for within Future Earth.